Hey everyone, Nick from Millburn here for a snowed-in version, a snow day version of Hall Hoops and Happening, and we are joined by Eli, the prodigy. Eli, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Horrible with the snow, but we're here.
By Frankie A. Frank, what's going on?
Not much, Nick. How you doing?
I'm doing good. By Paul, just a fan. Paul, how are you, sir?
Doing good, Nick.
And then from the unofficial mayor of Orange, from the Orange division of DPW, and it's a good thing that he is not giving weather prognostications to Mayor Warren, because yesterday he said, "I don't worry about it. We're getting 3 inches." Well, we get 3 inches an hour, maybe. Bill, how are you? How are the roads, Bill? How are the roads?
Oh, very clear. Getting there, Nick. Getting there. We're getting there.
What'd we get?
I think we
18
got-
inches?
We got about 24 inches of snow in Orange.
Newark is reporting 27 inches. Here, we got at least 2 to 3 feet by me here in Bergen County. And
That's insane.
Bill, don't ever become a meteorologist. Don't ever become a meteorologist.
Actually,
It's not going to be bad, Nick. 3 inches.
Hey, Nick. You know what's funny though?
What?
Before the end of Frank, before we ended the show the other night, we were talking about the hockey game, right?
Right.
And I was just explaining to Nick. He says, "Well, your guy from the Devils is gonna make a goal." And I said, "Man, I could have cat. Man, if I knew that he was gonna make the goal, I would have took care of it. You know what I'm saying?"
Guys, we all came up with the same score we predicted.
Yep.
And what was the score?
2-1. And Jack Hughes, and look, Jack Hughes had to win a goal and was big on the money line, man. It was big on the money line.
All right, none of that. We're not DraftKings or anything. Please keep that down to a minimum. This is not a sports betting show, please.
Okay, I got you, Nick.
Since you brought up hockey, and I'm going to do this at the end, but while it's fresh on my line, Eli, what do you got going on tonight with the hockey show?
Tonight we debuted on Search Sports a new hockey show. It's called Shift Change. We're talking the Olympics hockey with the men's and women's. And we're also going to preview part 2 of the NHL season. So tune in tonight, 7 o'clock on Search Sports.
I know nothing about hockey, but I know that goalie was on fire. Who's that? What's the name of that goalie?
Hellebuck.
And Jack Hughes from the Devils scored the game winner.
Jack Hughes, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of pissed off Canadians today.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
I think the whole injury was what really killed us, but from the Canadian side. But other than that, it was a great game. We'll talk more about that tonight.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm looking for. What time is that on?
7 o'clock.
On where?
Right here on Surge, either YouTube, Facebook, wherever. Yeah.
Thank you. Is Luigi joining you?
We don't know.
You never know with that guy. Oh my God.
We don't know. We'll find out.
Mr. Unreliable, Ryan T. Luigi Williams. Oh my God.
Yep.
So Christina, do you want to come on now? Our producer, Mrs. Christina Marie Romano Palmerson, who got married this weekend, and I'm gonna let Frank. I think it's you or Eli interview Christina.
All right. Well, first I know she has a bunch of stories, so
yeah,
just start off with the stories.
So I got something I'd like to get off my chest. So we gave my father the distinct honor of marrying us, right? So he walks the bride down the aisle, very emotional, Disney instrumental song, lovely. He goes up, he greets everyone, introduces himself as the father of the bride, also known as Nick from Millburn.
Yeah.
And then I'm hearing this was premeditated. You asked people if you should do it. And you were told, well, she'll probably be pissed off. And you said, you know what? I'll take my gamble. I'm going to do it anyway. But other than that, I mean, as I said, I don't think anyone would expect anything less, so we're good. But it was lovely. It was fantastic. Yeah, but Nick from Millburn married Michael and I.
Congratulations, Christina.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
congratulations.
Best of luck. Best of luck for you.
you. Thank you.
And how did the whole celebration
Christina.
go? I mean, and most importantly for Bill, can you explain what was the buffet like, or what was the food like for Bill's sake?
Bill, there was what's it called? There was a sickling pig, which essentially is a pig roast. There was a pig with sunglasses on and its little nose, and it was getting I was not happy about it, but there was a pig. All the Italian food. You've been to Nanina's, you know what their cocktail hours like.
Yeah, I know what it's about. I know Nanina's quite well.
It was excellent. And then, people were so full, then they had to eat their entrees. And then we also had all the different dessert stations. And of course, it wouldn't be a North Jersey wedding or a New Jersey wedding if we didn't send people off with a breakfast sandwich to go. So there was a ton of food, and it was all really great. Dad, what did you think of the food?
The food so the best thing about it was I actually got to sit down and eat the food for the cocktail hour, because Christina, in her infinite wisdom, did her pictures before the cocktail hour. So normally you do them like as the cocktail hour is going on. That's what my daughter Jess did. So we were able to go in there and enjoy the cocktail hour. So Christina, thank you so much. Nanina's did an amazing job. So Christina got us at Nanina's about 11 o'clock, and they were there, 7 o'clock in the morning?
Showed up at 7.
So, they all look beautiful. My wife, the bridesmaids, obviously Christina. So they had a lot going on. Us, we didn't have as much going on. We had to put our suits on. So we got there at 11. We were sitting around, and, there was a bar. So would you like a drink? Sure, I'll have a Heineken. And I'm not a big drinker to begin with, but you're sitting there for 5 hours, and I had a few Heinekens. So then I go to get another Heineken as it's getting closer. And the nice lady goes, no, mister, no more. Mrs. said no more. You have to do the ceremony. I'm like, what do you mean Mrs. said no more? I have to do the ceremony. No more. I said, how does she even know I'm drinking? So I was fine. I went up there. I did a great job. It was very, got choked up a little bit walking her down the aisle. But
because of the alcohol, or just because of the marriage?
No, the alcohol was no problem at all. I mean, I was fine. I was fine. It was beautiful. So when I got down there, when Michael wrote me the script, or helped write the script, I didn't introduce. There was no place for me to introduce myself, and I figured, well, some people are.
You're lying.
No, there wasn't. No, there wasn't. No,
it said, I am Nick, also known as the father. Yeah.
No, I wrote that in. Go look at the script. I wrote that in.
Is this on recording, by the way, or no?
Of course it is. It'll be in the video when I get it in 3 to 5 months. So jury will be out until then.
So anyway, I said, well, I'm going to say, a lot of people are going to be like, who's this bozo up there? So I said, hi, everyone. I'm Nick, AKA the father of the bride. And I'm like, I have to, AKA Nick from Millburn. The 20 people in attendance who got that reference were laughing. So it was good. It was good. Christina was absolutely beautiful. Annette was absolutely beautiful. Jessica, the girls, Jessica gave a really touching matron of honor speech. And, yeah, it was a good party. Everyone, Christina had in McClune's fashion a t-shirt toss.
Wow.
We did. I have an extra, Bill. Maybe I'll get one for you, depending on what sizes I got. You want to walk around with a Christina and Michael's wedding t-shirt?
I'm sure he'll be happy with. Why did you invite the Seton Hall Pirates to your wedding to do the t-shirt toss thing?
That would have been the thing. I hear the Pirates quite expensive to rent. Maybe I could have got a friends and family discount.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Bobby.
I'm just reminded of the movie Diner. Have you ever seen it, Christina?
I don't watch movies.
Well, among other things, the groom asked the bride to take a Baltimore Colts trivia question test.
Wow.
and the result will determine whether the wedding's on or not. So I'm just wondering if you made your husband take a Seton Hall basketball test prior to the wedding.
Oh.
His test has been his fandom, which he's adapted. He's not a basketball guy, but he's been into it because of me, so he passes.
That's great.
And he's not even here to hear the compliment because he's shoveling us out. So,
Any other questions for Christina?
Where's the honeymoon?
I expected to hear a Nick from Millburn reference, and I'm just wondering, did a "Let's Go Pirates" chant break out or anything like that?
there was no "Let's Go Pirates" chant. You know, Dad, you had a flag at Jessica's wedding. The flag didn't make it to mine.
Yeah, because I was told with Jessica that I don't know, Jessica. I didn't. Yeah, that was my fault. I did not do the flag.
I would have tolerated the flag more than Jessica would
Yeah,
have.
Jessica was adamant, no flags. So,
Right there is why there should be a post-wedding show. That all the reality shows out there about the pre-wedding, the planning of the wedding day.
Yeah.
No one has a post-wedding show where you can air your grievances. You know, Aunt Rose can say how bad the food was. Grandpa can
A reunion, a post-wedding reunion. Well, I don't know if you heard the beginning, but my father introduced himself as he was marrying us as Nick from Millburn.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh boy.
This is all for Surge Plus, Bobby. Get that ready.
It's not just for your wedding. That could be a thing, like the post-wedding. You know,
make it a show.
Get the Baileys on. You know, there's always something that goes. I mean, I hate to say it. I've been a DJ a long time. There's always something that goes wrong at a wedding that people want to grieve about afterwards. So we can have open grievances. You know, and not saying your wedding, but weddings in general.
No, but Bobby, I will tell you something that's going to surprise you. So you know me, right? I go to bed at 8:00, right? My wedding ended at 11. I stayed up till 4 a.m.
I heard.
I haven't seen 4 a.m. I wake up at 4 a.m. I don't go to sleep at 4 a.m.
I heard.
And I wasn't even doing anything exciting. I was chit-chatting in the hotel lobby.
Very nice. Very nice.
No, Nanina's did an amazing job. Her cocktail hour, they had a martini tower that was pistachio martini, espresso martini. It was really good. The younger kids, Eli's generation, a little bit older, they were doing shots. I did a green tea shot or a few. Everyone had a ball. The DJ, who was the DJ? Tell Bobby who the DJ was. Maybe he knows him.
It was Raul.
DJ
from
Raul.
Elite Sounds.
He was pretty good. He was
he
good.
did Jessica's wedding.
You know what he did though, Bobby? The only thing at the end, it was cliche. He did closing times as the last song. Yeah, I know. And as I'm hearing it, I remember seeing something that closing times is not about a bar closing. So yeah.
See, I'm a traditionalist. I'll either play Last Dance, which I have three versions of: regular, large, and extra large. I have like an 8-minute version of it, so you can really have the real Last Dance for 8. Everybody goes nuts. Or I'll play Michael Bublé, "Save the Last Dance" for me. And it all depends on how I feel the crowd out, as far as how they're going to respond to the end. But closing time, yeah, that's what we do at a bar. It's like a bar song.
I would have requested something high energy. I put a lot of trust in him for that, and it didn't work out. Eli, are you putting up did I do that?
Yes, I am. Yep, I'm doing that right now. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Eli's a wizard now. He knows more than I do about the mainstream.
Eli's a superstar. Yeah.
So
Bill, there you go.
What Eli's putting up, this is the roast pig that Michael selected.
No takers for that one.
So
Okay.
I'm not a big, everyone loved it. People took selfies with the pig. It's not for me. I thought it was more appropriate at a Hawaiian luau, not at a wedding, but
Wow.
there he is.
See, I'm sad now because if you've seen my Facebook page the past couple of weeks, I'm going crazy over this guy with the pig and the parrot dancing behind him. He does the same. He wears different outfits. The pig's all dressed up, and he goes to Born to Be Alive. So look at my page on Facebook, and you'll see. So now seeing that pig now looking like this, I'm pretty sad right now.
Bill,
A lot of
are
people
you
enjoyed this
partaking this?
thing.
No.
Dad,
good.
did you have the pig? He didn't have the pig.
No.
No, I don't think when we go to Nanina's, they don't usually have a pig, right, Bill? When we go to those
No,
events?
no.
Did you have it, Dad, though?
Did I have what? Oh no, I
Mhm.
did not. No, I didn't. There was guys, everything you can imagine was at that cocktail hour. Everything, sushi, stir fried, steak, of course, pasta. It was
I'll take the
amazing.
pasta and the sushi, but I'm not taking no pig, man.
And what I didn't even realize is they had a second room for the spillover. Like it was.
Wow.
And in that room, they had sliders, hot dogs, sweet potato fries. They had more food in there too.
And
Bill
then,
had to leave, you're so
steak and stuffed shrimp for dinner, and then after dinner for a while, you went back into the cocktail hour room, and they had a Venetian table. Every dessert you could imagine. It was Nanina did an amazing job. I will say, people were coming up. The best wedding I was ever at. You know what I mean? Everyone had fun. Everyone.
If I ever get married again, there's gonna be a multiple plates of or vats of disco fries. So if I ever get married again, that'll be on the menu.
They had fried Oreos at the Venetian hour, which I was very excited about.
Well,
Still
everything sounds
excited
good.
about because their leftovers are in my fridge.
And then Christina, tell everyone when the honeymoon and where you going.
So I married a school teacher, so we're not doing anything right now. But in July, we're gonna do a 11-night cruise out of Barcelona.
Ooh.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yep. So very excited for that. The only time I left the country, not counting Epcot and Disney World, was I went to Punta Cana. So I'm very excited to go across to Europe.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
My son Joseph, who he was there at the DePaul game, you met him. He is doing an 11-day cruise out there too, but he's going, I think, at the end of June, a couple weeks before you.
Yeah, I'm going. I leave on the 13th, and I know that because it's the day after my brother and sister's birthday. So
Does it go to Italy too?
yeah, it goes to Rome, or the part of Rome that's by water, and then Florence too. So yep, I think it's 2 stops in Italy, and then France, Malta. There's a whole bunch of a different spot in Spain. So I'm excited now that the wedding's done. I can focus on planning this because
Nice.
it is not fully planned yet.
Okay.
Speaking of fully planned, Bill, your 3 to 4 inches forecast
We got him already.
got blown out the window.
They got me already, Bobby. They tagged me already. Nick from Millburn tagged me already.
3 to 4 inches. I was on my railing was this high with snow on it.
We at least got 2 to 3 feet, Bobby. I mean, 3 to 4 inches, not even close.
That was 3 to 4 inches was the first hour.
First hour.
I know.
Christina, what was your favorite part of the day?
It's like you knew I had therapy before this, and she asked me that question. What was my favorite part of the day? I think the right answer should be marrying the man that just spent an hour shoveling out and just came upstairs. So marrying Michael was the favorite part.
Good answer.
However, I like spending time with everyone, like extended time with my family, his family. It was all really great.
And Michael's family is great. They are, and shout out to Uncle Gary. I love Uncle Gary. Every family has an Uncle Gary, and Uncle Gary's a great guy.
Michael goes, he's still talking about Uncle Gary.
I'll send you his phone number. So
I think we have something here, guys. We have a new show concept here.
The post-wedding debrief.
The post-wedding
The post-wedding
podcast.
detail.
Hey, Nick, is he Seton Hall, man?
Is Uncle Gary? No, I think Uncle Gary might be. He's from Vailsburg, so he might be.
Okay.
All right.
Uncle Gary likes the team that offers him the best food, was what I was just told.
So kind of like Bill.
Yeah, Uncle Gary and Bill are both steak connoisseurs.
There you go.
But no, Nanina's was great. The day was great. It was it went by really fast. And Christine, I don't know if you know this, but now Annette is like comes up to me before and shows me a picture of her and I and is like, I want to do our vows again. Like, oh God, when are we doing this? So I said, I can't do that ceremony. So I
Can
don't
we
know.
do it on a beach somewhere?
On a beach?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's go somewhere fun.
Well, Uncle Jeffrey came up to me and said, "You did a great job. Can you do my vows on a beach?" I'm like, "Whatever you want." And I am ordained Universal Life Church Ministry, so it was official. I signed it. Everything's good.
So is it Father Nick now? I mean, what's the official title?
Father Nick from Millburn.
Father Nick from
Officiant Nick from Millburn.
But Bobby, that's how I went, and I know she said this, but it was not in the script that me and Michael and I worked on. And I said, I'm going to say who I am. So I introduced myself. Hi, hello, everyone. I'm Nick, a.k.a. the father of the bride, a.k.a. Nick from Millburn. So, yeah.
10 different titles.
10
He's
different
titles. He's like Scoop now.
Yeah.
I think Nick has his sights for the who's the priest that covers the team? Father John?
Yeah, Father John.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Nick has his sights for Father John's position. He wants to be that ordained person at the end of the bench.
Father John he does it for the men and the women.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he sure does.
And he's been doing it for a very long time. We love Father John.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, thank you, Christina. And thank you for producing. And nothing but the best for you and my outstanding son-in-law. And I said this, we did a toast as we were waiting. And I did say
Was that the first beer or the fourth beer?
Maybe the third beer.
Michael just said it was the fourth.
I
but
just
go
heard
on.
it. He said fourth.
Yeah, well, I heard a rumor that Michael was the one that ratted me out, but that's okay.
Michael told you that he was the one that ratted you out.
Bobby, you didn't hear that. I'll say it again. So everything was going good. We got there at 11 o'clock. Of course, I'm going to have a drink or two, a Heineken or two. But I didn't, it's fine. I was not going to ruin my daughter's wedding. So at one point, I go up to get another Heineken. No more. Mrs. said no more. You have to do the ceremony. I'm like, what do you mean Mrs. said no more? How does Mrs. even know I'm drinking? Well, that was that. No more.
So, Christina, what's your middle name?
I'm the firstborn Italian daughter. You want to take a guess?
Millburn.
Marie.
Yeah, it's my family too, I think. Marie.
There's a whole lot of Maries.
Good, as long as it's not Ann, because then you would have been C-A-R-P, Carp.
My guess is Millburn, since
Better
I
than
think of the theme.
C-R-A-P.
Yeah, the other way around, right?
Well, you guys know that a traditional Italian wedding, 100 guests and 6 first names.
That's what I'm saying. We do a post-game wedding show with all these families that come in each week with because there's always gonna be a disaster. Who sat with the wrong person,
Yep.
and then you have like anonymous callers. The roast beef was raw. I didn't like it too much. Yeah.
Keep in mind, we didn't even get to the what's it called? The vacation. Put the
Honeymoon.
Honeymoon. Thank you.
Okay, so on the Seton Hall basketball, and Christina, you're welcome. You're welcome to stay because you were at the game. So we won the other night, and we won ugly, and we upped our record to 9-8. We 9-8 in the Big East. We have 19 wins. This team has 19 wins. Last year we had 7 wins and 2 wins in the Big East. So I'm feeling very excited, very happy. And then I hear WSOU. And they're upset that we didn't hit a 3-point shot. So, come on. That's insane. I called and said, this is not a 3-point shooting contest. This is a basketball game. And that became the topic of conversation of winning ugly as opposed to not winning. And I'll take a win any day of the week. What would have happened if we hit 10 3-point shots and lost? Who cares? The goal is not to hit 3-point shots. The goal is to win a game, and credits to Shah and his staff and the team. They found a way to win the game. Now, I'm going to say this. In August, Paul looked at as this roster was constructed, and Paul said, Paul, you tell us what you said about our how you analyze this roster and what's the strengths and what the weaknesses were. And guys, this was in August.
So we looked at the team, and the first thing that you noticed was that the 3-point shooting, nobody had a good 3-point shooting percentage. And the guys who were best at 3-point shooting hadn't taken a lot of shots. They were all guys who were averaging 2 or 3 shots a game. Everybody was a slasher. And what I think we said in August was that this team was going to have a lot of guys who went to the basket, a lot of guys who could take intermediate jump shots, who could get to the foul line. But we were not going to be a good 3-point shooting team because nobody on the team had been a good 3-point shooter up to that point. So it's not news that we're struggling from the 3-point line. I think we knew that all along. And I think when we got Hines, that was the other thing we said was they were going to be a very strong rebounding team because Payne was a good rebounder, Dar was a good rebounder, and Fisher was a good rebounder. And that sort of worked out. So the guys on SCU, they shouldn't be surprised that we're not a great 3-point shooting team.
What do you think about, it's one thing being surprised, but in a win, why even bring it up? Frank, what your thought?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, just like you said, we could have, scored a lot of points. That game we lost to Creighton. I thought we played a really good game for the first 38 and a half minutes. And, there was some good looking basketball, but we wound up losing the game. I'd rather have this result and go 0 for 18.
Right. Eli, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you've been saying all along about our 3-point shooting. Yep. You and Paul have been the I'm going to say not critical. Yeah, critical.
We're critical.
So as far as like us being homers and always positive, that's another thing. I'm too positive. Paul's too positive. Bill's too positive. I mean, come on. Eli, just your thoughts.
Well, I think you're absolutely right that, it was a great win. I'm proud of the Seton Hall won, but we have to look at the facts here. They went 0-18. They didn't go 0 for 7. They didn't go 0 for 12. They went 0-18. That was worse, quite frankly, than UConn, where they went 1 for 16. So that is the reason why that was a hot topic on SOU. And let's keep in mind, we're about to head into Big East tournament run, and we're about to head into March Madness time. And if we look at the teams on record on map, can Seton Hall even compete with teams like that when you go 0 for 18? Yes, congratulations. I'm happy we're winning these games. I'm happy we're doing great in the Big East. Don't get me wrong. But can we compete against these teams in, let's just say, a March Madness run? Because that's the overall goal. Winning these games is great. Having a winning record now is great. But is that the goal? Or is the goal to win the March Madness tournament, to go far in these major tournaments? That's the question.
I think what makes you competitive in games against better competition and in tournament games is your defense, because you're going to stay in every game. And if we hit threes, I think it's only going to be a bonus. Now, I agree with you that maybe we shouldn't have taken 18 threes, but you got to remember they zoned us and they were daring us to take threes.
Absolutely. So, but 0 for 18 though. That's a lot. I can understand maybe 18, under 10, 18. Maybe 12, 18. Come on. That's a little unnecessary.
Bill, your thoughts? Is 18 threes too many?
Seton Hall had, let me break this down to you real quick. Catch my thought. So, Saturday's game, Seton Hall wasn't really making the shots. They weren't making the 3 shots. That towards the end of the, that one basket by the student section, which they just couldn't make if they wanted to. But you know what? A win is a win. A win is a win. Yeah. So what are we complaining about? We were complaining. You can complain about all you want, but Seton Hall has 19 wins this year. We had 7 wins last year, and 20. How many losses, Eli? Come on now. What are we crying? What are we crying about?
Fine. But who have we beat though? That's up there and good. Who have we beat? Have we beat the UConns yet? Have we beat the St. John's yet? Keep in mind, yes, we have St. John's coming up, but who have we beat though? Who have we beat that we could say to ourselves?
I understand everybody's point of view, but I'm saying you got to look at the Shaw's record. He was 7-27, whatever it was.
Absolutely. I'm not complaining. I think that's an accomplishment.
Oh, I understand. I'm not you, Eli, but I'm saying people in general. Paul, I respect people's thoughts and opinions, but come on, a nail in a coffin? Are you kidding me? Come on. Then at yesterday's game, you're gonna try to punk me and say, hey, what you guys doing talking about, hey, listen, I got a valued opinion. The team won the game. The team won the game. Now, Nick, Bobby, Frankie,
Why is it
Paul.
Bill, why is it happen Rob
Yeah.
out there? Because no one's gonna punk me.
I'm just saying.
No one in the earth is gonna come up to me and say,
It ain't like punking nobody, but I'm saying, like, listen, we know that it's the college radio station, and I love them guys at SOU. But come on, man. Are you kidding me? A win is a win. Nick's been following the team a long time. Frankie's been following. Bobby, Paul, Eli. You go to school there, but I'm saying you gotta value somebody's opinion. Now we've been covering Seton Hall for years. What has Shaw haven't done anything? He brought a team to the Elite Eight. Come on, he went to school there. He played basketball there. So I don't care if nobody's punking anybody. But you ain't gonna sit there and I called in on Saturday, Nick. You heard what I said. Take the knife out of the casket. Okay, take the knife out of the casket, because basically you don't know what you're talking about. You really don't know. You don't know what you're talking about. Because you know why, Nick? Let me break this down real quick. Yeah. Okay, you're analyzing. We are analyzing basketball. Okay, first thing out of the guy's mouth with Nick, 1978 Yankees. He must be a friggin' Met fan. But it ain't nothing about that. It's about Nick's opinion, Eli's opinion, Frank has an opinion, Paul has an opinion, Bobby has an opinion. If you don't like the show, don't come on it and value everybody. Everybody has a different opinion. It's called freedom of speech in America. That's why we have an opinion about certain things. Now, if you don't like the freedom of speech concept, well, go change the Constitution. Go change it. Please go change the Constitution. Because half of them, it's okay. Then we're talking about the NIL, all this other crazy stuff. I don't know much basketball about me. I've been covering Seton Hall almost 25 for a long time, Nick, haven't I? I've covered women and men. In 4 years. In 4 years. In 4 years, I've been
You know your stuff, and your opinion should be respected, as should all of our opinions. And I'm going to say this, and should the opinions of WSOU. They are entitled.
And if you want to come on the show, come on the show. We give Nick and Bobby, you guys give everybody a platform. Come on the show and say, hey, listen, we invite you on the show so we can have a big discussion about this.
Well, I'll say this. Yeah, let me go first, Eli, real quick. I'll say this. WSOU, they're entitled to their opinions, and they come on it from a different perspective as Bill and I. Bill and I have been doing this for a very long time, whereas they're a little bit new to the game, and maybe their point of view is a little fresher. I don't know, but they're entitled to it. But we are also entitled to give a counterpoint to their opinion if we disagree. And that's what talk radio is. And they are welcome. And they know this. I told Lauren, they are Joe Morales. You guys can come on this show anytime you want. And you will be treated with more respect than I get treated on WSOU. I'll say that. Because sometimes right away the kid's busting my chops, Mr. Positive Nick from Millburn. Well, if that's what you're going to say about me, thank you. That's a badge of honor. I am positive.
Exactly.
And if you come on this show, you will be treated with respect. No one's going to hang up on you like you hang up on Jeff. You will be treated with respect.
And you know what? You know what, Nick? It proves the point where, we have a platform and everybody comes on the show, values everybody's opinion. Yeah. Nobody gets disrespected. But you know what? Shaw is the guy this year. I give him if I was to put a vote in for Coach of the Year, I'll give it to Seton Hall, because you know why? He has turned the program around since he's come here. Okay,
all right, let's let Eli go, Bob.
Eli.
Good. I think this is good. Eli, go.
First off, I did not expect Bill to go off on a rant like this before. I did not have that on my bingo card. I don't know what he did in the snow today.
No, I'm good. Man.
Let's move off from the whole SOU stuff and the whole freedom of speech. Let's move on from that. Let's go back to the game of basketball and let's talk about the 3-point shooting and everything else about
Let's
it.
go.
So for 18 again, they have to start limiting it. So now what's next as we head down the road? We have St. John's coming up. We have a couple more games.
We got UConn coming up. We got UConn on Saturday.
We do.
UConn
Again,
Saturday at UConn.
we have tough games
At
coming
UConn.
up. What did this team have to do besides limit the 3-point shooting and actually making the 3-point shooting? What's the next step forward?
You know what this team has to do? This team has to make adjustments in reference to number one, 3-point shooting, number two, free throws, and not turning over the ball, like in the previous game against DePaul. And in the last, like Nick liked to point on it, you got to, if you're playing teams like UConn, you got to outsmart them. So Georgetown, I'm going to beat UConn. Their team, like when they came down to the Rock, Bobby Hurley said, I'm scared to play Seton Hall.
Yeah.
You got to be like, hey, I'm scared to play these guys from South Orange because they almost beat me at the Rock last time. By 5 points. By 5 points.
Let's let our analyst extraordinaire Paul answer Eli's question. Go, Paul.
Okay.
So the question that I have, and this is at the risk of being negative. Yeah, everybody's happy. I'm happy with 19-8. I am happy with being where we are in the league. I am happy that we're in the conversation. I am happy that we're in a position to get a bid, or I'm even happy we're in a position to get screwed. Because I expected myself to be watching Yankee preseason games on the Yes Network at this time. So I'm ecstatic we are where we are. However, what have we seen, honestly, in the last 80 minutes of basketball from Seton Hall that allows us to think we are even going to have a remote chance of going up to Stores next Saturday and winning? And I think that's when we talk about 0 for 18, I'm happy we beat, but we're not going to have a team like Georgetown who scores, 27 points in the first half. They didn't score at all in the last 4 minutes of that game. I think Georgetown did not score a basket for 4.5 minutes. But this team's got solo ball we're playing. They got Alex Caravan. They got Silas Emery. They ain't going to go 4.5 minutes not scoring. So now when we turn around, what do we need to do? I think that we need to play our absolute best game. And I think that I'm going to go with Eli, and I'm going to say that shot selection is going to be the most important thing that we can do. We have to take the highest percentage shots we can on every possession. That might be a 3. Mike Williams might get an open look. AJ might get an open look, and if you have an open look, you have to take it. But I think the most important thing that we can do in this game is to get a good shot every time down the floor. That encompasses what Bill said about limiting turnovers and taking care of the basketball. It encompasses what Eli said about not taking too many 3-pointers. But to me, that's the only way that we're going to win is if every time we are down the floor, every trip, we take the best shot that we can. We don't settle for a 19-foot jumper. We don't find ourselves trapped. We don't have Hines get caught underneath behind the backboard and have to do some crazy thing. If we run that offense effectively, and then obviously, as Nick pointed out, our defense is strong as it always is, we could be in this game. But I think that we have to play every offensive possession as if we're down 1 point with 22 seconds left.
On that note,
otherwise we're not going to win.
On that note, we had the ball and we're down 1 against UConn with 30 seconds left. So we had a shot at beating them at home and we didn't execute. I think we got a turnover actually. But Frank, you're good for, Jake from State Farm, our friend up in UConn. So what do you expect? Danny's complaining about their student section. We've complained about our student section. Danny's complained about their student. Are they going to come out? Are their students and their fans going to come out 12 o'clock on a Saturday against Seton Hall? What do you think, Frank?
Yeah. No, Danny just, he gave the whole crowd a little kick in the butt. I don't think people were not showing up. I think what happened when they played Georgetown, and that game got pretty scary for UConn. Georgetown almost tied it up at the end. They had a couple of chances. I think he gave them a little kick in the pants, and they're going to come out much stronger, much more vocal. They're not going to leave early. I think they got the message. And I know he was really taking a dig at the non-students, because there's a lot of tickets that are on the secondary market up there, and they're just too expensive and people aren't buying them. So you see some scattered no-shows throughout the arena. So I think the message is making its way through the UConn community, and that's not going to happen again. I am a little nervous that it's senior night, and it's always hard to play the team on senior night. But they are going to be coming off of a really big high if they beat St. John's, or they might be coming off a letdown if they lose to St. John's. And I'm thinking either way, it could work to Seton Hall's advantage. And I think they have to. I think they have to keep shooting the three, not force threes, but if they're open looks, like you said, Nick, they got to try to bury them. I saw Shy yelling at some of the players the other day saying, "You're wide open. You got to take that shot. If you're wide open and it's AJ or Simpkins, they got to take those. They got to take those shots. They're going to start falling. I'm a guy of percentages. We went 0 for 18. I have a good feeling that's not going to happen again for a while.
Somebody, Paul, you want to do the math real quick? If we shoot 3, or Eli, someone who's smart, if you're not me, if you shoot 30% and you're 0 for 18, out of the next 18, how many shots do you have to hit to be? So what out of 36 makes you 30%?
Won't that be 11? About that.
So next game we're going to shoot 11 out of 18. Is that the math?
That would be
great.
The math? I'll double check.
Right? Like it's math. It's math. So
11, 11 divided by 36 is 30.5%. So
we're due to hit 11. We're due to hit 11 threes against UConn if we take 18 shots.
But bottom line is, when we head to UConn and we played the UConn game on Saturday, we can't do like last time and only make 1 3 and shoot 16, or do like what we did last Saturday and go 0 and 18. We either have to make as much as we can or limit the amount of threes, because that's
Eli,
going to be the ultimate success to win that game.
Is Danny going to zone us? Did he zone us? Did he zone us in the first game? Is he going to zone us in the second? What?
He did not zone us. They just played man. They're so good defensively, they don't typically have to zone anybody.
So you don't think Danny's going to force us to take threes?
I think that he'll give everybody a step. I think that his man-to-man defense will lay off guys. In other words, he may not be in a zone, but he's not going to be. They're not going to be guarding AJ 22 feet away from the basket. His guys will be leaning back a little bit so that when the drive starts, they can converge. But I don't think that they're going to necessarily zone. Nick, a couple of things to just jump out, a couple of things to our advantage.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at and I had UConn schedule up here. They've got to play, and I'm sorry, they've got St. John's. They've lost 3. They've lost 2 out of their last 5, and they've got St. John's, and then they've got us, and then they'll have us at the end of the week. Okay, where this is our bye week. We've got a whole week off. So for once, it very well may be that UConn's tired. We've been talking about tired legs. The DePaul game, we had tired legs. I think that we looked a little bit tired in the Georgetown game, certainly. And tired legs is one of the reasons you go 0 for 18 from 3. We got a week off. I imagine Coach Holloway will be managing the workload to let these guys get a chance to get their legs back. Any nagging little things they can go at half speed for a couple of days. it's not like they've got to do a ton of preparing for UConn. It's not like we don't know what UConn does or who they have, right? We've been hearing about these guys all season long. So I would imagine that we will be able to go up to stores, weather permitting, with a very physically strong team. And that's something we haven't had in a while. And meanwhile, UConn could be an advantage for us.
Let me throw this question out. And UConn's going to have a tough game with St. John's, and that game's at UConn, right, Paul?
Yep.
It is, yes.
When is that game?
I'm bringing it right up.
It's Wednesday.
They are playing St. John's Wednesday.
All right. So when we go to film your pregame show, we'll know the results of that game, correct? So we could get into that game a little bit.
Absolutely.
Weather permitting, because we got to keep in mind we got another snow.
Yeah. And Eli, just a quick shout out. Thank you so much for everything you do behind the scenes with the pregame show. You and Christina.
Of course.
This just, and Bobby, you too, because this just doesn't happen without the help from everybody. But let me ask you guys this, and whoever wants to jump in and take this question. Against UConn, what is going to be the key to beating UConn? What do you think? And also, let me just jump on this. We get 40 minutes out of the center position. So the pipe dream that we've all had of Hines and playing together, it's not going to happen because Shaw just won't do it. So last game, Hines played 24 minutes. Payne played 16 minutes. Do we need Hines in there more than Payne and to play like he did last game as a key to the game? Anybody want
to? Absolutely. I think Hines, played a better game than Payne the last time. I don't know if Payne was hurt or something, but he kind of outplayed his day. I think we go with Hines. I think Shah would be going with Hines. I would start him, matter of fact.
If Payne's healthy, that's not going to happen.
Here's the problem. Somebody on the Facebook page, I don't have it up in front of me, mentioned that a lot of Hines' playing time is due to conditioning, and if it's a fast-paced game, he's not playing. He can't keep up. That's the issue, and we know UConn and St. John's are going to be fast-paced games.
Yep.
So either our game plan is to slow it down a little bit so he can play more, or now he's going to be looking at spot times here and there to get in and get some playing time.
Frank, what do you think about that?
I agree with what Bobby just said. And one of the other things that I'm wondering is maybe, do you think maybe we'd be a little bit more successful if they had Hines match up with Reed and then maybe Payne with Ryder?
Are you saying both them on the court at the same time?
No, just they usually start Tarish Reed at center, and then they usually bring up Eric Ryba to replace him.
So you want Hines to check Reed?
I'm wondering if that would work better. I don't know for a fact if it would.
Well, Reed killed us last game.
He matches up better. I think they both match up better that way. Or I would like to see it at least. I didn't know.
It's going to be interesting. I don't see Hines and Payne playing together. I think in a perfect world, Hines gets more minutes, but like you guys said, maybe, the speculation is he's not getting as many minutes. At the beginning of the season, it was because of foul trouble, and now it's because of conditioning. But I don't know. Do you see that, Eli? Do you? I don't see it with the conditioning. He looks, I don't know.
Well, let's take a look at the last game in terms of minutes wise. So Hines had 24 minutes in the last game. Payne had 16 minutes, and Payne was one of the 5 starters in that game. Right. And if we look at the previous game with Hines, he only had 18 minutes of playing time. But again, we understand that there was, the conditioning injury, and we believe it was an injury or like he was trying not 100%. And I think that was the reason why he wasn't fully dominant in that Wednesday game. So I think that it's probably health that's stopping this run right now. I think they're not 100%, and they're not admitting it, is what I predict.
I think Payne, the rumor was that Payne was a little banged up too, but like if you look at the women's team, this time of year, everyone's banged up, right? It's almost.
Absolutely. I mean,
you're in a competitive league that plays physical every night. You're gonna be banged up, right, Frank?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So Frank, I just wanted to follow up. Taris Reed got 23 minutes against Villanova, and then Eric Reeb came in for 17.
Right.
So it sounds like what you're suggesting is whenever Reed's in the game, we play Payne, and whenever Reeb's in the game, we play Hines. Is that your sort of the way you're thinking about it?
Well, yeah, I was wondering if that would be more effective.
And
Because
essentially,
I remember the first game. I remember Taris Reed right in front of us, right there in section 11. Just the way he rolled around, his body was too big, I think, for Payne. I thought maybe we'd be more successful with Hines on him.
okay, that makes sense. And Nick, by the way, those two guys, I'm just looking at the box score of the Villanova game. Reed plays 23 minutes. Eric Reeby plays, I don't know how you say his name, 17. And so that's the 40, right? The Senators are alternating. Reed gets 11 points and 6 rebounds. Reeby gets 8 points and 5 rebounds. So that's 19 points and 11 rebounds from the center position against the Villanova team that has Duke Brennan inside, who's a really solid rebounder.
Yeah.
So I think Frank's point is very well taken. We have to be very aware of what's happening inside. And of course, fouls are important. I think Bill mentioned those before. Stay out of foul trouble because, Reed and Reeby as a combination are really contributing for the Huskies now.
Before we go on to the women, let me just bring up a couple final things on the men's team. We're getting in the home stretch. We have 3 more games in the Big East tournament. In likelihood, we'll be playing in the 4-5 game on Thursday. If anyone wants to come over to Garden, I will be there. I think Bill's going to be there. Bobby's going to be there. Thursday is one of my greatest days of the year. It's just a fun day for having a little libation and watching basketball. So we're going to be there Thursday. But when you look at this team, and Paul and I and everyone else had spoken about this, we have a weakness, 2 weaknesses this year. One, we don't have a power forward because assuming Pat Sumanik, who was going to be our power forward, got hurt and he hasn't played all year. Fisher's very good, but he's an undersized 4. And we don't have that guy to come off the bench to hit threes. Simpkins a spark plug, but he's a hot or cold, not a really solid 3-point shooter, but he might be our best 3-point shooter, and that's the reason we're in the kerfuffle that we're in. So next year, when you and it's maybe a little bit too soon, but I hear you guys talking about it. So priority, got to bring Clark back, got to bring Hines back, got to bring Simpkins back, no doubt. Do you invest, because everyone's saying shooters are more money? I have no idea, but that's what, right, Bobby? That's what they're saying on the board. Shooters are a premium.
Yep.
Do you? I'll start with Bobby. Do you earmark a shooter and spend money on? Maybe he's not a great defensive player. Maybe he's not a great basketball player, but he can shoot. Do we go after a kid like that?
It makes me wonder who on this current roster Shaw thought was the shooter. Right? I can't see Shaw the way as complete he is. How complete he is as a head coach, building this roster to not have a legit shooter amongst what he was looking for.
Right.
I wonder who on this roster should have been a shooter that maybe is not up to par, this season. But as far as next season, I think that's your number 1 priority. But we get the what's his nickname? Our one recruit next year, the point guard.
Oh, money something?
Yeah, he comes in, and that allows one of the 2 to be a point guard, and the other to be a shooting guard.
Payday.
That could be a shooter right there.
Payday.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, do we prioritize a shooter once we re-sign the players that we have to re-sign?
Well, I absolutely think we do. And I think the poor man, whomever it is going to get screamed at by our season because he's not going to be able to play good enough minutes to make the coach happy. But you got to have that kid who's, coming up the floor and throws up a 25-footer before anybody's even in position and it goes in. it's good for the team. It's good for the crowd. I mean, people are talking about, you know, how dead the Prue Center's been this year, and there's been a couple of times I've had the game on television, and I'll see, you know, we're on a little run, and we've gone up 2 to up 7, and Simkin, if this goes in, the other team's going to have to call a timeout. Front runs it, and the crowd gets a little bit disappointed, and the whole game sort of slows down a little bit. You know, Hines is going to have some monster jams. That's going to get the crowd going next year. But I also think you need that kid to hit that 25-footer. The crowd goes nuts. The other team calls a timeout. I mean, that's what brings people into the stadium. Right? That kind of excitement.
Eli, do you overspend for a shooter? I know you've been screaming about us lack of 3-point shooting all year. Do you overspend for a shooter?
Honestly, yeah, I would overspend for a shooter. You know what I mean? The team couldn't shoot at all this year, and if you want to win games, you have to do shooting. I mean, yes, defense is absolutely going to be a priority for Coach Shaw and his team, and for the entire Seton Hall coaching staff. That's going to be a priority and should be the priority no matter what. But to win these games, you need to know how to shoot, and that's going to be the key to success. And for all we know, Bud Clark can transfer out. I mean, remember, he was at Merrimack the last for 2 seasons before he went to Seton Hall. For all we know, he could get a better offer now that he just had a standout year with Seton Hall. Might want to go to an actual more competitive team outside the Big East, or maybe even in the Big East too.
That's why the priority has to be signing Bud Clark. Has to be the priority.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it depends on what his other offers are, and if he does get better offers,
we have to top those offers,
which is going to be tough.
Yeah. Hey guys, keep in mind that I don't know if anybody realizes this. Right now, the leading scorer of our Scarlet neighbors, fuckers, is Tariq Francis at 16.6 points per game.
Right.
You guys know where he came from?
NJIT.
NJIT. So I don't know if he got a better offer from Rutgers or if Shaw overlooked him, but you would think Billmeyer would have said something to Shaw. Hey, you guys need a shooter. This guy's leaving us. Give him a look. But I mean, he's shooting 33% from 3-point shots from 3-point land. But then again, that could be the offense too. But there's somebody we missed on that was right in our backyard that could have been a shooter on this team.
Yeah. I'm going to say this, and I don't even know if he's going to be available. I don't know if he's going to be in the portal, and Paul knows who I'm saying. If Finley Bizjack is in the portal, you roll up a dump truck full of money for Finley Bizjack.
Oh, you buy him a house.
Right.
Yep.
You
buy Finley a house. Buy him a nice house.
Correct.
And a car.
A bedroom.
And that's it.
You know, nice house in Harding Township.
That's it.
Bill and I will drive out to Mr. Bizjack's house and preach how much we want him to come to Seton Hall if he is available.
We'll pick him up.
We'll pick up Finley.
Yep.
All right. Any other final thoughts on the men before we go on to Tony Bazzella's troops? Eli, you got something? Eli, no.
Let's go to the women.
Let's go to the women. So yesterday, senior day at Walsh.
Yep. Yep.
Mariana Valenzuela, Jordana Codio, Messiah Hunter, senior day. Now, I thought it was a little weird, but what do I know? That they didn't have senior day as their last game because they still have Nova on Thursday, but they had senior day, and it was very well received. And it was a very physical game. We were down at the half to St. John's. And in the second half, we came back. We had the game. And I'm not one to criticize officials, but yesterday there were some very questionable calls down the stretch. It doesn't think like the whistle was being blown equally in the last 2 minutes. What?
They were blowing it the way they wanted to blow it. And it wasn't
Savannah went up for a layup that would have put us in the lead, and she got bumped. It was Bill and I. It was right in front of Bill and I. The female officials didn't blow her whistle. She was right there.
Yep.
Tony Bobby, Tony went. Did you see him, Bobby?
Yeah, I saw that.
You got to ask him when he goes on. Jose had to grab Tony. Tony's feisty. Literally, Jose had to grab him and pull him back. I've seen Tony fired up, but never like that.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah. And then what happened was we were down 3. They missed like 5 straight foul shots, so we had an opportunity to tie. Tony ran a nice wheel play off the inbound with 1.2 seconds left. Jordana had an open look, and it just rimmed.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Just rimmed the one.
Just rimmed. So, the possibilities of that team going to the NCAA tournament don't look great. I'm not going to say nail in the coffin or whatever because I'm not on the board. But, it doesn't look right. Right, Bobby? I think coaches even realize that they're going to the BIT.
Yeah, he's going to fight till the end. But the next to last show, not this past show, the one before that, he kind of gave the positive merits of going to the WBIT. A couple more home games and probably a real legit chance of winning it all.
I got the impression that he was kind of being realistic. Bill, your thoughts on the women's game yesterday? Because you were there with me.
Yeah, I think the women, just with the loss, they played well. Cordio had 14 points, 4 rebounds, 6 for 18. Mariana had 7 points, 11 rebounds. Savannah Catalan, 10 points, 3 for 14, 5 rebounds. And Ari Woodward, the freshman, she had 10 points, 3 assists. She was, I think she was 4 for 10 or 4 for 18. She did well, freshman, running the point, with this team, nothing surprises me. They playing Villanova, I think they could beat Villanova. They're feisty team at home. They've been playing well at home. And like you just said it and Bobby said it, it's a possibility. But if you're looking at a WBIT, they could win the WBIT. They could do it. And they could do it from their home base. You know what I mean? They actually
Bobby, I was really impressed, and you're the one that told me this of Woodard. I thought she, our third string point guard. And I thought, and a freshman, I thought she played really well yesterday.
I think so too.
What's that?
Are you high on Woodard? Because I thought she played really well.
She was brought in to be that backup point guard, and I thought Hall Rosa played well too.
Yeah.
At the half, Hall Rosa was our leading scorer.
At a certain point, we got to break through, right? And if it's not going to be this year, you move on to next year. But, I don't want to talk about next year just yet. We're still in the midst of a 20-win season and a top 4 finish in the Big East. But, if we get that number 2, is 2 seeds still possible? Or do we lose it?
No, they're done. They're 2 games out of Villanova.
So basically, we got to avoid the 4 seed, right? Because the 4 seed,
because you don't want to play UConn in the semifinals, right?
You want to get the 2 or 3 seeds, so we get a team that we could possibly have beaten already, or maybe we get St. John's for a third time to charm. But if we can surpass Villanova somehow, whether it be beating them on Thursday night and finishing ahead of them for in the tournament. That's the only team in all the bracketologists for the women's game from the Big East that's with UConn. It's UConn and it's Villanova on the bottom. So we could replace that to be the second team in the Big East in the tourney if we play well and have a good run in the tourney itself. Because I can't see them just put one Big East team in the women's tournament.
No. Nope.
By the way, Shaylin Pickney's not a senior?
No, she's not a senior.
Really?
So
it says right here on the roster, it says senior, Shaylin Pickney.
She didn't come out yesterday, right?
She didn't come out, no.
Unless she still has another year of eligibility left.
Unless she has another year.
From last year, yeah.
I think Jordana Bobby, Jordana still has another year, right?
And I asked her, "Are you coming back?" And she smiled.
Yeah, because she was at senior
No,
day,
Jordano.
Jordana's a
She's
senior. She
listed
has one
as
more
a senior.
but she has another year.
She has
The
one more
whole
year.
thing with eligibility, she has another year. And the thing is, I think, we're talking about spending money on the men and a priority, but hopefully some of that trickles down to Tony because, I don't know, Jordana, he needs to get Jordana back. He needs to get, Jada back, and he needs to get Savannah back.
New players to replace the seniors.
He's got some really good players, and he's got to get them back. I mean,
By the way, I spoke to
go on, Paul.
Paul, 1 second.
Well, I was going to leave that, but no, go ahead, Bobby. You do your thing.
No, I was going to say I spoke to Shaylin's mom after the last game I was there, and she has a bit of an Achilles issue.
Okay.
I don't think it's enough to keep her out for the season. I think they're resting her for the postseason.
Yeah, shout out. I know Mrs. Pinkney's a big fan of our show. Shout out to Mrs. Pinkney.
Yes, she is.
And she's a big fan of Miss Owens, who does a great job of photography on the site. Paul, go.
Well, just two things about the women's game. Well, three things about the women's game. Number one, it's going to be hard because if you look at the net, Seton Hall is in the quad one, and there were a couple of games that were out there that I think the Princeton game was one of them, and we just wasn't able to pull it off at the end. That's going to be very difficult to overcome. Now, the Big East tournament, there's the ultimate quad run win out there, but that's a tall order. The second thing is that I think that to watch Sahara Bishop develop this season has been an absolute joy. All right. I mean, we forget she's been, and she hadn't played for me, but just, it's been tremendous to think about her coming back with Savannah and with Jada. What do you call it? And you're talking about that court that can compete with anybody. So the third thought was going to be that Coach Boz needs some money for some big men. He needs some bigs, somebody to play, somebody athletic who can step out. That scoring four. I think that player would be an enormous difference because this team is really guard, and the guards are really good.
Paul, we have not to interrupt you. We have a big coming in, 6'5" center from Las Vegas, who's a top 100 player.
I thought Jordana had done a really good
That'll
job.
Be an enormous improvement.
Yeah, I thought Jordana Codio had done a great job at the 4, and I thought Mariana, when we were clicking, did a good job at the 5. But we need to replace Mariana, and we need to re-sign Jordana, and we need to re-sign, like you said, Zahara. We need to bring as many of these players back because there's a lot of depth on this team, and it's a very good squad, and they're into the program, and hopefully he can bring them back. So
Codio was on a roll this week, by the way.
I'm sorry, what, Bobby?
Codio was on a roll this week.
Yeah, she's been last year at Texas. She didn't get a lot of PT, so he saw something in her, and she's playing much better. And her, as Bobby would say, her family's from around here, so hopefully she'll come back.
And the game is on Peacock.
I'm sorry, according to Paul's
and the game is on Peacock on Thursday. Peacock.
According to Paul's thing, Zahara Bishop was freshman of the week.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Zahara's been struggling the last few games. She had a big shot yesterday, and for the first time, showed a little emotion. Right, Bob, right, Billy. She, she showed a little emotion. Nice. I never saw her get fired up like that. It was because Tony said he needs players like that to balance out him, who's overly fired up. So with the men, we are contractually obligated through the Big East that if we do not make the NCAA tournament to go to the Crown tournament in Las Vegas, which starts April 2nd. And if you look at, and I said this, I don't know if anyone else saw this, about the promo for the Crown Classic or whatever it's called. Simpkins is in that promo. So I don't know if they know something we don't know. So what are your guys' thoughts? I'll start with Eli about going to that tournament. Now you get money for it. You get money toward your NIL. The goal is to make the big dance, the NCAA tournament. But if we don't, what are your thoughts on the crown over the NIT? Eli.
I mean, the NIT would obviously be the overall goal, in my opinion. I think. I mean, if we end up going to this crown, we have to wait and see how this goes. And is this the first time that we're doing this?
Second. Frank, tell us about the crown.
Yeah, tell us about it. Yeah.
Yeah, they did it last year, and what they took two Big East teams last year. I forgot who the second one was. I know Villanova was one, and I think maybe Butler was the other. So. And it's out there in Vegas. They cram the games in. Let's see. They start on Wednesday, April 1st, then Saturday, April 4th, and the championship on Sunday, April 5th.
What's weird is it doesn't start till April, right? So there's going to be some downtime for the teams that are in it.
Right. Right. They have a couple weeks off.
Paul, your thoughts on the crown?
Well, I think that the NIT can be, first of all, the NIT would be good. I think Seton Hall would get a home game, at least one. And that was a lot of fun when the last time we were in the NIT to have a home game and have the crowd. And I think we even played it at Wall, if I'm not mistaken. So that was, so that's the good, to me, that's the positive part of the NIT. But the NIT is also 32 teams, and it's grueling to win it. I don't know any 20-year-old man who doesn't want to be in Las Vegas for a weekend. The games, it's interesting that you look at the schedule. The quarterfinals are on April 1st, which is, I believe, it's a Wednesday. So they play the quarterfinals on Wednesday. They play the semifinals on Saturday early before the Final Four. And then they play the championship on the Sunday between the Sunday between the Final Four on Saturday and the championship game on Monday. So I'm sure that it'll be on. It'll be, we'll all be ready to watch as much basketball as we can. There's money. There's money out there that we know about that's in the crown that goes to players and it goes to schools. And if we get in it, I don't think there's any downside to going to being in that tournament. Again, 8 teams from the Big 10, Big 12, and Big East is where they're going to be coming from. So, it might be us in Creighton. I don't know exactly where the rest of the Big 10 is and, who would come out, but it would be some teams that have been on the bubble. And I think that it would be a lot of fun to have these guys go out and just have, one weekend where they got to go out and play. So I'm in favor of it.
Yeah, no, I think it would be good. And are you going to go back to Las Vegas? And if you're not going to go, are you going to give recommendations where, if we wanted to go, where we could stay and where we?
Oh, I'll certainly give recommendations. I do believe that the never to be Mrs. Justifan would have quite a few things to say about me suggesting we go back to Vegas to watch basketball. And on that note, gentlemen, my girlfriend went outside and shoveled a lot of my driveway. And so I'm going to go now and make her London broil with mushroom gravy. So with that, go Pirate, and we will talk about the pregame show for next week. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
All right, Paul.
Bill, final thoughts.
Eli, hold on. Eli, post that again. So this is the girl I was talking about, Shamira Morton.
Okay.
6'5" center out of one of the schools in Vegas. Probably there's one school in Vegas that's an athlete hotbed. I think she's from there, if I'm not mistaken. But she was a All-American, McDonald's All-American game nominee to play in the game.
That's big. That's big.
And a top 100 recruit for us.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had that. The women's team has had that, so that's amazing.
And if you remember in the past, though, we've had bigs. We have some good fives like out there and whatnot. But I guess we haven't had a tall, thin, athletic big. We've had like those real nice players, but she looks like a legit like fly swatting, shot blocking center.
He looks like a female version of Payne.
Yes. So whether again, if I'm not mistaken, there's a 6'2" girl from Mexico coming as well. So we have a 4 or 5 women class coming in, blending out with the girls hopefully coming back, and maybe we start seeing that team that gets into the big dance, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, Eli.
Bill, final thoughts.
My final thoughts are we're looking for a women's win against Villanova and the men's win against UConn. So that'll supreme the weekend for me.
Frankie, final thoughts.
Yeah, put in a good performance, a good gutty performance up there at UConn. I want to avoid disaster, avoid a blowout, and put on a good showing. Need to hit some outside shots, obviously, as we mentioned, because they're going to be giving them to us, and we definitely need to limit the turnovers.
Bobby, your final thoughts.
Yeah, can we have a nice day Thursday? I don't want to miss another game because of snow. I miss senior day. I don't want to miss the biggest game of the season against Villanova. Can we have a break? Hey, Bill, predict foot of snow on Thursday with
Nah, I'm not predicting nothing. Nope.
Come on, Bill. What's your predictions? Come on, you got to say it. Let's go.
Nope.
I don't mind a little rain snow mix, but let me get there and back fine. That's all I care about.
We got to go dig Felicia out. We got to go dig for her so she can get to the game on Thursday.
Oh boy.
Bill's saying what, 5 to 6 inches, maybe a foot. What are we looking at, Bill?
Nah, I'm not looking at nothing. No snow.
Wait. When's it supposed to warm up and rain, Bill? When's it supposed? You're the meteorologist. Isn't it supposed to warm up and rain?
I saw the 50s. I saw the 50s the weekend. I saw the 50s next weekend, which I would more than likely be at the Big East Women's Tournament.
Where is the Big East Women's Tournament?
Where else? What do you expect it to be? It's in UConn's backyard.
Christina, you can go. Christina, you can definitely go if you wanted to. So Christina was saying she'd like to go. You could go, Christina. Bobby will even get you credentials. You can go.
I mean, it's a UConn's backyard. It's a UConn fest. It's a UConn love fest.
Wait, is it at Mohegan or is it at UConn?
It's on Mohegan Sun. But I was there last year. It was amazing how must have been 12 to 15 members of the media covered UConn itself. You know, it's in basically their backyard. And, you know, everybody's scrapping and scraping for a second place.
Christina,
go away!
Christina, that'd be a good weekend for you and Michael.
She left. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She left. She's listening now. So me, final thoughts, or Bobby, final thoughts.
Hey, we got a big week coming up for both of our programs. Excuse me. This weather sucks. And let's finish strong. And hey, believe it or not, you know, I know we had a big snowstorm yesterday, today. March Madness begins. Well, March begins on Saturday.
Sunday,
yeah.
Hey, Bobby, did you put in for the Big East tournament?
Yes, I got approved for the men. I'm waiting for the women.
Okay, I got approved for St. John's, Seton Hall, and St. John's.
Yeah, me too. I didn't even apply for St. John's. I guess they assumed that we're.
Yeah, we're covering them. Yeah.
Bill, are you going to cover the buffet for us?
No, we're doing it. That's our new segment, Bill and I. Everywhere we go, or if I go somewhere, I'm gonna take pictures of the buffet.
Take a picture with Bill in it, with the selfie Bill.
All right, I'm gonna, you know, as my moniker, I'm gonna stay very positive, one game at a time.
Mr. Pop, we're calling you Mr. Positive.
That is fine. Mr. Positive, survive in advance, one game at a time. Look, the only thing we should be worried about right now is UConn. We were up. We had the ball with a chance to beat them with 30 seconds left. So there's no reason why we can't have that happen again. We're going to be well rested. We can go to UConn, and we've done it before. We can win a game that we weren't supposed to win, and then it's on to the next game. So one game at a time. And I will say, before I let Eli go, give his final thoughts. Eli's having a show tonight, a debut show on hockey. Hopefully Ryan Luigi Scoop Windens will be joining him, but don't hold your breath. Eli, tell us about your show before your final thoughts.
Yeah, don't forget tonight, 7 o'clock, it's the debut of the show, Shift Change. We have a great panel coming up tonight. We're going to be talking about the Olympics hockey. We also have coverage about part 2 of the NHL season. Nicole Gizzi, Frank Carlio will be there as well. Scoop's supposed to be joining us and much more. So tune in tonight right here on Surge Sports.
Well, check it out, Eli.
Frank, I didn't realize Frank was going to be part of it. Frank, tell us about your show.
Actually, they invited me on yesterday. They liked my watch party, I guess.
Yeah, they did. We're going to bring that up too.
Yeah. So one of my kids, my Nicholas, he rounded up about 20 people, and they all watched it.
Nice.
I'm having my watch party for the Seton Hall game on Saturday, and it was interesting going to a bar restaurant at 8 in the morning and watching an early game.
Wow, nice.
But
memories that will last a lifetime for you.
What's that?
Memories that will last a lifetime.
Well, yeah. I mean, geez, first gold medal, and I remember the last one. I was in 7th grade when they beat Finland.
You were in 7th grade?
At that point, yeah, 1980, yeah.
I was a junior at Seton Hall, and I had speech or public speaking, which I wasn't that great at then. Public speaking, I had to do a report, and I gave it on the U.S., who just beat Vladislav Tretiak and the Soviet Union in the semifinals to go on to win the gold medal. So, yeah, so it's amazing when you look back that the U.S. has not won a gold medal since then. Wow.
And that was a round robin, too. That wasn't even like a head-to-head, walk off the ice with your, head up, right?
No, we had to go in the next game and play again, right? We won Russia, and then we didn't – the Soviet Union. And we didn't win. We had to play, Sweden, right?
Finland.
We had to beat Finland.
Which was a tough team, too.
All right, Eli, last word.
Final thoughts. Seton Hall, do me one favor. Limit the threes. That's all I ask. I don't care if we win. I don't care if we lose. I don't care what we do. Just limit the threes. That's all I ask for. Good luck with everybody shoveling the snow, and let's hope that we don't get much snow, and Bill will keep us posted as our meteorologist.
Nope. I'm done doing that job.
Next snowstorm, I want Bill outside with one of those parkas with the fur on with the fur on it, over his head, going, "Here I am live from Surge Sports on outside of the."
He did that on Saturday. He was from a train station.
Good night. Good night.
All right, good night, guys.
Good night.